Hey yo, what is up guys, it's your boy Twa here, and this will be a video on a Lost Ark on the Guardian raids. Now I will be soloing the very first Guardian raid with my Lance Master, and I will explain how Lance Master works in a little bit, but first of all let me check for you how Guardian raids work. Now once you get level 50, get a certain amount of gear, certain amount of quests, you can actually start doing Guardian raids. What the specifics are I'm not quite sure, but I know it's level 50. And from that point on you need to do a little quest and then start it off. Now every major city has these three banners. These three banners will indicate where you can actually do the Guardian raid. Now if you go to this guy, which is the Guardian raid master, I'm not sure what to call him, you can see how much time you have before the reset of today. On every day you get 3 tries on either the first tier, second tier, third tier, fourth tier, and fifth tier. But as you can see, I only got the first 2 unlocked, and there are already 6 of them with 4 equal each of these bosses. Now if I do the first 3, that means I get the maximum amount of item drops. It will be an orb that you can open up, and from that orb you will be getting extra items, which is great. Now if you look further into this, then you can see that the left side has 8 lives, and I would say that this is potentially the easy mode of the game. Now you got the harder mode, which is in the middle, 3 lives, boss actually does way more damage, and ultimately with the 3 lives it makes it a little bit harder. Now you got the extreme mode, and that is just a free-for-all. So you got 1 zone, 3 bosses to kill, but this one actually needs a ticket, and I'm not quite sure where to get those. Now let's get it just started. So we're taking this off and let's get it started. Now one of the things that I do want to elaborate on is soloing this is not better than anything. Now if you do have the right gear, the right class, it allows you to simply do the same damage on a less HP boss. Now I got myself some very nifty gear, and this gear set allows me onto 5 show me where the boss is on the minimap. Now this is good for soloing, because otherwise you would be running your ass off on at least the second boss, which I will be showing also in one of the videos. But yeah, right now gotta kill the kitty, right? So for the Lance Master, just to emphasize a little bit on what he's good at, and that is movement. Lots of it, little debuff here and there. And one of the skills that I'm primarily using, that was the wrong skill set it was using against me. Okay, still got him though. This is good stuff. And another gimmick that the Lance Master uses, this will hurt. I cannot iframe that because guess what? Lag. So basically I got my Z button, which indicates how much my rage meter is filled. Every single one of my skills will fill it up. Once it gets filled up, you can switch it around, get maximum buffs, and from that start killing this boss monster. Reason why I'm standing behind this cunt is simply for one fact and one fact only. The crit rate that you actually do becomes way higher. So even though your crit rate may be very low, chances of you critting will become very high. Waiting a little bit to change my weapon, and there we go. Now one of the fun things that I can use is the block on this character. The block itself would be one of the main reasons why this character to me is good. Because it gives me a 50% of my HP just for a blocking state. Will this allow me to survive anything? Not the case, but on his very last rotation he has a very nifty skill that could hurt me a lot. Okay, once again too late on that, but I can just still run around. Trying to get outside of range. Still working quite well, but I missed a few of these skills, so I have to wait with the weapon switch. I could still weapon switch regardless, but I'd rather not to get the full buff. And although I'm getting hurt, I'm still doing quite fine. Jumping around from here and there. Only downside that it brings me is... oh, I'm going outside of that place. The only downside that it brings me is a heightened cooldown. Oof. I was not sure if that was going to hit me. Blocking the first hit, second hit goes to the other side, so that was a very good use of the blocking. Whoops, a daisy. Gotta jump out, and there we go. Oh boy. Ugh, I should have blocked the last one because that one would have done the most damage. Okay, this will hurt. Yep. That is me being a dumbass. Oh boy, standing over here will be very problematic. Possibly. I'm just jumping outside of that spot because that could potentially hurt me. So I want him out of this corner right now. So there are multiple ways to do that. But right now it actually got me messed up. So you want to get as close as possible because this guy can mess you up. So the run so far is not that good, but it's just to show you guys what works. Or doesn't. Heavy striking, dealing absolutely no damage. Oh boy, the barfs, and then going straight back in, right? So this is the animation that he changed his position, and I just pressed tab just to look where he's at, and I can instantly tell he's over there. This is one of the bigger luxuries of the item that I'm currently wearing. But current gear score is 363 and a bit. It could be 403, but in all honesty, I don't need more than this. Honestly, I don't need more than 300 to kill this thing within a certain amount of time. Now, what I am currently using is this setup, with a lot of crit rate and some other stuff coming along, but to me this is probably, like, in terms of attack speed, crit rate, it does one of the most amount of damage. Alright, I'm actually waiting for his very last phase. So most of the bosses are actually termed into phases, and whoops, it is. Like, if he changes, he will do a more different attack, which looks very similar to this one, but does way more damage, and it's a singular one. Oh, look at that damage. Gotta love that shit. There we go. Nope, still not the one I was mentioning. Only downside of me jumping around while not hitting this guy, not filling up my bar. Come at me, bruh. Or don't. So I still got a block left, so I can take a little bit of chance. Oh, here's where it's at. Okay, gotta walk to the back because otherwise big hit. So I was hoping for my block to actually pop off, but Okay, I got no dodges right now, so I should not be taking as much of a risk as I am doing right now. But here I am just going ham hard. Come here, little brother. And he will come back nonetheless, so I could just stab him like that. Poke the kitty! Now they nerfed some of his skills, like the barf that he was just trying to do. Usually pop the gazers that you just saw, but nowadays it doesn't perform that anymore, sadly, because it was part of the fun. Oh, here he goes once again. I don't have to block this, but if I should, or if I could, I would. And there we go. We got ourselves a dead kitty. So somewhere around 10 minutes. Got this kitty killed, and as you can see, there's an orb right there. The drop that comes beside it is the usual drop, so meaning that if you go beyond the very first 3 orbs on a daily basis, you can still go one after and still make yourself some items. And if you want to open this, you will get more items. And let's see if I get anything decent. Not that I need it. But guess what? These are all materials that you can use just to make gear similar to this one. So hope you guys enjoyed. This was Twebby. Peace.